live from Kenny's basement apartment where we are hunkered down for the storms, and we'll all be in here later after the storms blow over. It's Sports Allegedly.
Welcome. Thanks everyone for joining us for this episode of Sports Allegedly on this May of, what is it, 15th?
10.
5/15.
10 with a 5 in it.
5/15/2024. Thanks for joining us for this episode. We're going to talk a lot today. We're going to cover some UFL football. We're going to cover some college baseball. We're also going to talk, obviously, about NBA playoffs, which is going on right now. Current score, Thunder, and we're going to cut this one short so we can finish the game. Thunder's 20,
Well,
and I think
also,
it was 22.
There's also massive
Mavericks.
lightning. You didn't see that. You were inside doing your notes, but
Yeah, so
there's
we
a
got
lot of
yours.
lightning blowing over.
And obviously, we'll talk about some baseball coming up, college-wise. Like I said, NBA, NFL schedule released today. We're definitely going to touch on that as we close out. But we'll close out with the NFL. But let's talk about softball. Softball regionals announced.
Well, I also want to give a warning. If you hear children, it's because the Destiny Weiss Daycare Center overnight daycare is in full effect right now.
So we've got the regionals announced for softball this last week. If you missed it, we didn't talk about it. The Oklahoma women beat Texas.
Won the Big 12 title.
Big 12 didn't
but
win the
tournament title,
win the
not
tournament,
the
not the
regular
regular season. And then still ended up as a 2 seed.
That kind of went into. I understand why they did that. That went into the. If Texas hadn't made it to the championship of the tournament, OU would have been that number 1 seed. But
More than likely,
the finish of the regular season, because OU dropped 2 to Oklahoma State or 1 to Oklahoma State.
2.
Because we dropped down from 2 to 4.
Yeah, that was what killed the 1 seed, was losing 2 to Oklahoma State. I think if you would have lost 1, then beat Texas, I think you would have been fine.
We didn't get to talk about that. I wanted to talk about that. Do you feel that there was a relief and a bit of anger for not getting to play Oklahoma State?
You mean in the tournament?
In the softball, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
because Brigham Young took them out.
Yeah. Well, and I think everyone was anticipating that rematch. But OSU, we'll talk a little bit about that. But we'll start with OU.
Solid team. And they should win next season with OU and Texas both out.
But they've so OU gets a 2nd seed, 49-6 record. Going to open their regional with Cleveland State, who's got a losing record, 22-24. Then Boston University and Oregon's on the other side.
Can you read that?
Yeah. And Boston University and Oregon's on the other side, and I'm even further back from you.
Well, no, I can read it too.
Okay.
I'm surprised because generally there's people that are our age that. Let me get the glasses.
No, I knock on wood. I've still got good eyesight. So that opens up with that. Then on the other bracket, you're looking at Florida State, which is a very good program.
Now, OU's running into Florida State is what they're trying to get it to happen.
And then you've got Chattanooga, which is also a good softball program. Had an excellent year. We've seen UCF. They were 30-23. They made the tournament. And then Auburn sets there, and they'll play them. So that's going to be an interesting bracket to watch to see who comes out of that, because it's not a given. Let's talk a little bit about OSU. OSU, I thought, got a little better ranking than I anticipated. I thought they'd be more 7 to 8.
No.
They ended up getting a 5 seed. Northern Colorado, Michigan, which is a good Big Ten school, and then Kentucky, about middle of the pack SEC. But the SEC is a really good program, so it's not like Kentucky is crap. So
that's the whole thing about OU and Texas going into the SEC next year, both baseball and softball. Both from that conference, put out really good teams. What LSU won it last year in the baseball, and who was it? Ole Miss won the year before.
Yes.
When OU had played them.
Beat us, yep.
And Tennessee had won it recently as well. I know that they. You looking up the record for that or?
No. What was you?
I was just looking at past baseball titles.
Oh no! I thought we were talking about softball.
Oh,
we're still.
I thought you'd moved over.
No.
Well, even the softball.
No, I was.
Besides, OU.
I tell you what I was trying to look up is I wanted to see, and I should have pulled that up before.
Your Nats.
By how many conference teams per each I mean, how many teams got in for each conference?
Oh,
Because I'm pretty sure the SEC, which we're going into,
got the most. I think
got
they
the
ended
most,
up
yes.
with the most. So
and now you have to remember Florida State was in the championship last year with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the softball championship last year. So Stanford was a team we took out. I kind of watched them a little bit to see where they would fall because they still have the great picture, 43 and
I think
13.
they're probably the best team in. They were UCLA,
But they got an
had a
8-9. So
slight
then you
edge.
look at LSU.
Well,
I thought Arkansas is going to be on the opposite side
of
Oklahoma State. So I thought that was at least that's going to be somewhat regional that they put together. Missouri from the SEC had a really good year. I was thinking local teams, they've had a really good year, and obviously you got Tennessee, Florida, Texas, UCLA. All those teams round out about the top 5 or 6.
Well, I mean, can we throw Omaha in that as local?
There we go. Yeah. And so round out the top 6. So even Southeast Missouri State got in that regional with Arkansas.
I'm so confused by that. Are they Missouri State or are they Southeast Missouri State?
They're Southeast Missouri State.
Is it Southwest? Was it Southwest Missouri State that changed to Missouri State?
Yeah, that would be the one in Springfield. And that looks more southeast, though. So that would be it.
I'm very confused by that because I remember that they had that and they changed their name to Missouri State.
Other Big 12 team, Baylor, they got in the Louisiana bracket with Ole Miss and Princeton. And then, like I said before, UCF, they ranked in there with Florida State's also. So, anyway, that kicks off the 23rd of May.
Yes.
Which seems like forever long ago. What are we at? The 15th? So that's going to be next Thursday is when that kicks off.
Ooh.
Tournament teams, I've gotcha. So we're going to see. We're going to do a little breakdown if it'll even come up because it doesn't. I try to do the same thing and it's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The softball and baseball, it's no love in where, basketball and football and all that, they all get broken down by how many teams each conference sent. So I'm not seeing anything. We'd have to go through and look.
Anyway, moving on. I don't foresee by the time we speak next week, we'll already be into that, and I don't foresee that. Actually, we'll be before the tournament even starts next week. We'll give more of an update then. So, anyway, congratulations to OU.
You say it starts on the 23rd?
Yeah, we'll be before that. So we'll break that down a little more to see if there's any news. All right, moving on. OU and OSU baseball. Oklahoma. 3-game series left with the Xavier game was canceled, so they got a 3-game series left with Cincinnati. That starts, I believe, tomorrow, and they are the Big 12 regular season champs, first time in school history, which is crazy to think that's the first time in school history there's
really
yes, that was the first time that they were regular season champs. Now, the Oklahoma State, they will play Houston. They'll close out the season with Houston starting tomorrow.
Even when we won the World Series back in the day?
Yeah. It was the first time that they were 34 and 16 for OSU. And like I said, they finish up with Houston. I would assume, and baseball is just a weird sport, that both those teams, OU and OSU, should win that series and move on. And then we've got selections after next week. Yeah. We'll be talking about that. Now, there's been a lot of rumors that OU's looking about an 8 seed nationally, but that's just all predictions, so we'll see. Like I told you before, Dallas Baptist has been in that mix.
We just need to get out of that. Yeah, we need to get away from Dallas.
Because we lost to them, I think, twice this last season.
They've had our number.
So,
they've had our number.
But hey, congratulations to both baseball teams. I mean, have done a hell of a job. 30,
I didn't even see OSU.
34 and 16. Okay. So they were third in the division.
Where did Texas end up?
I think they were fourth. Because what was
Smackadoo? West Virginia, did they end up high? Remember, they were the highest ranked for a long time.
I just had that pulled up. It's Oklahoma State second, West Virginia and Texas are tied for second.
Okay, so that's the final.
Yeah.
Or almost final.
Yeah. But, you know,
Do they have any games left?
Oklahoma's on a 6-game win streak. Oklahoma State's on a win streak of 2. And then you've got...
It's just 3.
Or 3, and then West Virginia is 2. But Cincinnati also has a winning record, so I say that Oklahoma should beat them. That's not a given. But Houston 7-19 in conference. OSU should sweep them or at least get close. But you know the top 6 teams are the only ones that have winning record: Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, Texas, Cincinnati, and Kansas. One could say that the Big 12 is down a little bit. All right, update on the Thunder: 35-27. Thunder are down. It seems like they've been down this whole series. Except the first game. It's like they need to get
first game.
No, the first game is like
game.
It was every other game they've been losing.
Didn't they get spanked yesterday or the day before?
No, they won. We'll get to that here.
They got spanked.
That was the game before. All right, moving on. You want to talk a little about UFL?
You want to go straight into UFL? We're just gonna
we'll give a
plow
quick
through,
update on the UFL standings. We have them up on the board. You can't read my writing, but Sean, you're the go-to guy on that, so go ahead. Anything?
It's unfortunate that Arlington has already been eliminated because their record was not indicative of the team. They have the leading passer in Luis Perez. They lost a lot of close games, and they went up against the 1-5 Showboats, and it showed the team that they really are. But it's
like
sad.
Their defense is down though. Offense, they've been scoring some ball, but you know,
the defense isn't holding.
They have the second worst defense as far as points allowed.
No, we did have a preview of what could be a preview of the UFL title game in Birmingham and St. Louis, and it was a fun game to watch, a great game. I wish more people were watching. There were a lot more fans in the stadium at Birmingham. But Birmingham was shooting themselves in the foot. St. Louis was held in there the whole game, and if you got to look at if Birmingham hadn't missed some passes and muffed punt down at the 5, it was a completely different game. And Michigan Panthers are Michigan and Birmingham, the only two that have currently have. I said again. I'm trying not to. Birmingham and Michigan are the only two that have clinched playoff spots so far, where the Showboats and the Roughnecks are already eliminated, both at 1-6. And you got Wade Phillips's San Antonio Brahmas there, tied with the old Battlehawks at 5-2 on the XFL. So we're waiting to see what comes out of there. San Antonio Brahmas is a great team to watch too. Have you been watching more of this? I've been watching a lot.
Watch a little bit.
I've been watching a lot more of this. What kills it for me is still, I don't really care to hear the coaches. I'm not really sure that I enjoy the.
I like the ref stuff.
The ref stuff is great. The ref stuff is one of the best parts.
I do like that.
God damn, I said it again. The interview right after a player scores. How do you feel about that? Or a player does something.
Seems kind of hokey.
Does it? Because these guys are coming off after this big play. They just want to kind of set.
I know they want to see the excitement, but I think you celebrate with your teammates. I think
there's got to be a better way to do it.
Maybe do the interviews at the end of the quarters or end of the halves. Rather than the coaches, you just bring in the players.
Yeah, get the players and grab them.
Because they're going to give you pretty boring stuff.
But the coaches I don't know if you've noticed this in almost every sport. They do the coach with the interview, halftime or whatever the sport has, and the coaches are just giving them blanketing answers.
Yeah, I know.
It's just. We got to work better. We got to tighten up on the offense. We got to work better.
It is a little. It's a little
blanketed.
More...
It's boring, and even in the NFL, they need to grab. College, they stop talking to the coach, man. Grab one of the players. Say, hey, coach, can we have this player? Or grab the assistant. Say, hey, can we get this player so we can talk to him real quick.
No, I can see that.
Instead of what they do, because like I said, the coaches are just giving blanket answers. They don't want to give away any sort of scheme or anything that they want to really do. Oh, we got to work on third downs. Well, that's obvious. You're watching the game.
You were 1 of 2 or 1 of 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that too.
So, but yeah, the UFL has been way more entertaining. Games are funner to watch. The kicking, you've been enjoying the kicking.
It's definitely better. It is. It's getting better. It's not. I mean, you're never going to get the NFL, and I haven't seen viewership, but it is something that seems to be something that is more relatable to people, and they also think it's going to be not just a one-year wonder, which has been so much before.
Well, if you look at
you
it,
can't
it hasn't been.
You can't establish yourself as a fan base or into a team if you think they're going to go out of business after the year.
What the USFL did that was intelligence was have, okay, we got the teams, everybody's going to be in one location. We're going to all play in Birmingham at one location.
But they don't do that now.
They don't do that now.
Yeah.
So then the second year that they were in, they had 3 locations that they all played at.
Yeah, but isn't this the first year of the merger?
This is the first year of the merger.
Yeah.
The XFL went, oh, we're playing everywhere. We're going to do all of it. And I believe
More
they
expenses.
lost. I think they lost money
More
on
expenses. Well, sure.
So that's why you only see 8 teams in this conference. I know that, depending on what happens this year, possibly the next year, you will see an expansion. All those
I think that'd be a little early.
All those owners still own. That's what I said. Probably next year.
Yeah.
All those owners still own those franchises,
Mm-hmm.
so they can bring them back in. The franchises are literally just on hold, but it's a good development. And there's kids that don't make it in the NFL that go from college to go there, learn to play. Because they've even taken some of the what they're using the XFL kickoff rule in the NFL this year. So we're going to see how that goes. It's a test. It's a test. It's a test. No, if you're not watching UFL, then you're missing out. And by the way, European League of Football starts May 25th. That is the old NFL Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you got summer football coming.
I have not even kept up with that.
Elf. You got the Elf coming.
I have not kept up with that.
Oh, they're in their 4th year and they're expanding. So something's going right over there.
Obviously, when we'll talk a little bit about the NFL. We'll talk about we'll talk about the schedule over there. Yes, that is correct.
The Bears finally have a stupid London game or German game. I can't remember where they're going, but they got to play the Jaguars, so it's probably London. Hate that. They shouldn't have to go all that way.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk. You're going to move on to. We'll give a quick update if you want to pull up the NHL stuff. Quick update: the Thunder are now down by 12. Looks like they're just.
You said NHL, right?
Well, no, but go to NHL. But I wanted to give an update on the score. 40-28 was the Mavericks.
29 now.
Oh,
sorry.
29.
29.
So.
It's just not been shooting well
and they're not playing good defense. We'll get to that in a minute. Oh, it drives me nuts watching them. Stresses me out.
All right, so I got an argument with Zach the other night about what the most entertaining series has been so far. And I said the Canucks-Oilers.
It has become now with the Oilers winning.
Even when they started Game 1 and Game 2, they were the most entertaining.
I don't know. I thought the Stars Avalanche have been
that trash
that's been the most surprising because the Stars have played so well and they're up 3-1 and now.
Because you're fast Avalanche.
Yeah, the Avalanches have not done well, and then you look at the Hurricanes. They were down 3-0, and they've won the last 2 games to make that somewhat of a series.
And they have. I've watched that. Stahl and all those guys have come alive for that.
And they'll play tomorrow at Carolina for Game 6.
Yes.
They tie that up. The pressure really gets put on
New
York when it comes down to it.
Does it?
It does. Being up 3 games to nothing, they are the favorite. They won the President's Cup.
The President's Cup winners.
They had all that. And I think that puts the pressure on them in Game 7 where the Hurricanes.
But that Carolina team has been in the playoffs more than the Ranger team.
Oh no, I agree with that, but I just think that the pressure is on the Rangers because of the 3-0 lead. I mean that's what killed it right there. But you're right, Canucks Oilers. It's now tied 2-2.
And I've been watching that series. I've watched all 4 of those games at work as much as I can.
And that's definitely going to be one of the most
That has
entertaining.
been one of the funnest.
Now,
that has
if
been one of the
Boston
funnest to
can
watch.
beat the Bruins tomorrow,
even though Zach hates McDavid,
if Boston can beat the Bruins, it says to be announced. Why aren't they playing tomorrow to be determined?
I think the time is what's determined.
Okay. So they should be playing tomorrow. No, they might be playing the next day.
No, I told you that they did this switch.
Okay, so
I go look at scores and it'll show.
But Florida up 3-2. If Boston beats them, then you look at.
So they have Fridays whenever that series.
Okay, Friday.
goes back.
Sean, go back to that. So Friday, the Panthers and Bruins will play Game 6.
Right.
And
if
Stars
necessary,
and Avalanche,
Stars
if
out.
necessary.
Yeah.
What game would that be? Should that be Game 6? Okay. So what's the Stars score right now? I saw 2-1, but then I saw it update. Are we looking at 3-2
I don't know what's
Avalanche right now? Okay.
3-2 Avs.
So
Avs
Avalanche.
up. In the
Avalanche.
third they just started the.
Okay,
the
so
third.
Avalanche currently is up 3-2 right now. It's a must-win. Obviously, they can close the series out. The Stars can at home. So
somebody knocked the puck up.
all right. Otherwise, that'll be it. So that when we talk next week, we'll have the
And I have to say,
the Final Four.
I have to say, the TNT's intermission team is one of the funniest. I know there's the guy with the mustache. I forgot what his name that you don't like, but those guys have been going at each other.
Oh, they're much better than
those
the
guys.
ones.
They're
Much better than the ESPN guys.
They've been going at each other. That's what they were showing.
I mean, TNT really has the best crews on both sides of hockey.
Yeah, even the
and
basketball. Even the basketball's
and then,
better.
We'll talk a little bit about basketball. We can segue into that. It looks like NBC is going to put a major bid in for the basketball, and that means TNT and that crew will be done because Ernie's not going to leave TNT. No, Ernie's not leaving TNT.
But no, what I'm saying is, you said putting a bid in.
4-2, just Avalanche just scored
All right,
again.
so what are you looking at with the Stars Avs? Is it going to get shut out tonight, or are they going to go?
No, Avalanche
game
wins
6,
tonight.
game 7,
Goes to Game 6.
Just game 6 and then done.
Yeah, I'm afraid so because I've watched the Stars and I've talked about Stars have always had good defense, good goalie. Their offenses look so much better this year than I've seen it in past years. They look much faster.
The Stars are fast and physical.
Yes, and they have a better goalie. Avalanche in the offseason, that I think is their weakness is their goalie, to be honest. I just do. I've watched him, and I think
remember last season as much as we dogged on Bobrovsky.
Now, we're talking about it. They're getting up four goals tonight. But
right, but you remember how much we dogged on Bobrovsky over in Florida last season when they came up with they technically were the number 8 seed is what it was.
Yes, that's correct.
And they ended up going to the finals, the Stanley Cup, and playing Vegas. I mean, we dogged on Bobrovsky.
Yeah, but one of the one seeds this year, so they weren't that far off. I mean, I think it was just one of those deals that
the team had improved.
Correct.
There was improvement.
Correct.
Now,
but
for me,
Colorado beat the Jets though 3-1, and the Jets were a favor in that. There was a lot of people, these professionals that think they know everything about hockey, that had Winnipeg beating them.
The Avalanche have been continuously going to the playoffs. The Jets, I think it was their second year in. Wasn't it? Did they go last year? I don't remember.
Oh, I think they did.
Anyways, I'm looking for the Canucks and Oilers to go 7 games and the Oilers to come out on that. Because that's just a back and forth.
It is.
That's just a rubber match right now.
It is. Both teams are good and deserving.
I'm really wanting the Hurricanes to take the Rangers out.
I think the Rangers.
I don't think the Rangers go out until they play either the Panthers or the Bruins.
Yeah, which
I think
like I said,
the Metropolitan is better.
Would you say that game is Friday? Panthers and Bruins. That's the game 6, not tomorrow.
Right.
So, and that potentially could add up to a 3-3
Right, the Panthers are looking to knock the Bruins out, and
and anybody listening, if you
I think it's Marchand that's injured, so hopefully he comes back from that injury.
If you don't watch hockey playoffs, it is an exciting brand. It's an exciting sport to watch, especially
it goes
in the
too
playoffs.
fast for me.
I mean, it moves.
It goes way too fast.
You've got to pay attention.
I am used to games being slow. Sure. If anybody can see our picture, that was when me and Kenny had to watch his son, his youngest son. So that's me and Kenny up on the top there doing the podcast, and his son laying in bed with a hurt tummy because he's hungry, even though he'd been eating all night long.
He eats all the time.
I didn't understand. So,
All right.
who do you got favored? Who do you think's going to win the over?
I don't know. Just from what I've watched, the Panthers look really good, and I'm going to take. Man, I hate to. The Canucks Stars, if they match up in the Western Conference, I like that matchup because they're about the same. I think the Stars could beat the Oilers.
You realize that if Vancouver goes to, I don't know why, I don't know why I've gone Canadian, but if you realize that Vancouver goes to the Stanley Cup and loses again, they're going to burn the city again. You remember that year that they went and they lost, they burned the city?
And, that's the disappointing thing is you had to have two Canadian teams knock each other out to now go to...
Hey, there were more teams in.
There was.
Winnipeg.
There was.
And
No, there
Toronto,
was. There was.
And Toronto.
There was.
They lost. They went 7 games with the Bruins.
Yeah, there was.
And I think that's probably what hurt the Bruins was the fact that they got beat up in that game. They got beat up in that series.
Yeah, but if they win, I mean, it's a one game. So I mean, it's kind of one of those deals.
Whereas Florida had a little time to set because they went 4-1 against the Lightning.
Correct.
And then, of course, the Capitals.
Of course. Update.
Of course.
Update real quick before we get into
we're
going to go to basketball right now. Yeah, Stars just scored, so it's 4-3 now. Avalanche. So all right, let's segue to basketball. Currently, Thunder losing by 11, 45 to 33.
What's happened to your Thunder? Storms are rolling through Oklahoma, but there's some thunder not rolling in Oklahoma.
All right, let's move on.
You like that?
Yeah,
God,
great.
so
all right, let's move on to basketball. We give the update on the Thunder and Mavericks 2-2. One closeout tonight. Celtics, the top seed, and as expected, finished up the
Cavs.
The Cavs tonight, 113-98. No Donovan Mitchell, had a calf sprain again. Kind of figured that was going to be the case.
You know what really killed the Cavs? LeBron went to the game.
Is that not the one they won, or did they win the one before?
I don't know, but I just saw the picture of LeBron at the game, and I'm like, why, LeBron? What are you
trying? Yeah, there's been a lot of thunder there. There's been a lot of talk.
What are you trying to get, LeBron?
Yeah, so we got Nuggets won last night. And
I think I took the Nuggets to be
that series
has
turned out to be fantastic.
What about? You say that's fantastic. What about the Knicks?
I don't necessarily think that's been as great. Now, Game 6 will be at the Pacers. Pacers always play better at home. Brunson has been unbelievable for the Knicks. I mean, I picked the Knicks to go out against Philadelphia. Obviously, you disagreed, and you got it right on that. And
say it again.
You got that one right.
Yeah, I did.
But I think that Brunson, his play has been unbelievable. I mean, never would I thought that guy, even watch him at Villanova, and he goes into the NBA, that he would be that type of guy. But he's like playoff Brunson. I mean, he's turned in. Now, Pacers have some talent. Halliburton, Pascal Siakam.
What happened with Halliburton?
They have the talent to win, and they always play better at home. It's just their defense is horrible. You look at the games that they've lost against the Knicks. I mean, it's been 121 was one of them they lost. And
so you look at those scores. Let's look at those scores. And so Pacers beat them 121
130
to something.
130 was game 2 is what the Knicks scored. And then 121 again for game 1. Now they're keeping up with them somewhat close, but the last 3 games have been much different with each other.
Right.
Pacers,
but
big,
I've enjoyed
Knicks
that
big.
series.
No, it's been fun to watch. Celtics, I haven't watched a lick of.
One thing I wanted to say about the Thunder Mavericks was the Thunder in the second period just seemed to not. That's where they fall apart. Right before halftime.
Well, we could talk about Thunder right now.
I know that's what I'm saying. We kind of jumped out of that.
Well, let's talk a little bit.
But their scoring in the second.
Well, let's back up. Let's close with them when we talk about basketball. Let's talk about the Nuggets and Timberwolves.
Jiggles.
Timberwolves went up 2-0, won both games at Denver, and now Denver's won 3 in a row, 2 at their place, and one last night. And I think there's been some good. Mike Malone, the coach of Denver, is very underrated. I picked the Timberwolves, and the defense has not come through from what I thought they would be. And
They're young. They're young. Next
no,
season.
Timberwolves are old. They're one of the oldest teams in the league.
Are they?
They
I thought
are.
they were- well, they're
you just
young
look at
being
Anthony Edwards as being young. That's what everybody thinks
okay.
about. But you got Gobert, you've got Cat. I mean, you've got
Gobert's there.
so you've got some age there. They need to start winning now, and then you're going to talk about does Anthony Edwards, and I'm not starting any rumors, but when his time is up there, you talk about one of the biggest free agents in history.
Are you
if
staying?
he doesn't want to stay there, and they would, and he would maybe take it.
Well, here's
but
the problem.
what do you do?
Here's
I
the
mean,
problem with
but they don't have
NBA.
any first round picks. Remember how many picks they give up for Gobert to Utah just to get him?
But here's the problem with the NBA. They got so much FU money. You know, they get guys. How many guys in the league are on those weird max contracts?
A bunch.
Where's all this money coming from? Overseas?
But that money though, and then when you're with that team and re-sign, that is the bonus. You get the more money.
I know.
You know what I mean?
So we figured out how baseball does it. They do all those weird contracts where they, extend the money. They do the, what was it called? The
oh, you're talking about like
baseball.
It's like a retirement plan, essentially.
Yeah. Essentially, they do deferred payment.
Deferred payment. Yeah.
They do deferred payment, so you're still getting paid, but they're like, hey, we're gonna take this and stick it back. So we know how baseball's doing theirs. NBA's not doing that the same way. They somehow just have all this money to pay max contracts to guys. You don't see that in football. In football, you're looking at guys, you're like, okay, we need this guy to make this, but hey, we're going to need you to rework that contract so that way we can get these other guys in 2 years, 2 to 3 years.
And you've got so many, exemptions and stuff
but
like
I
that.
think that's where you
I haven't
find,
paid a lot. I mean,
But I think that's where you find, I think you had said this earlier, you got more rookies coming in. You got, you use a running back for 5 years, and then it's, maybe you keep him, maybe you don't.
Oh, football's definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Definitely, that is a
basketball. It's
football is a sport, is a star and rookie league. A lot of the in-betweens are forgotten about. They're needed.
I remember
you look at the better teams that have won. They've gotten very lucky on some of the rookies.
I can't remember if
the Chiefs. They've won. They've drafted. But anyway, back to basketball.
And I can't remember if it was with you or somebody else. We were sitting there looking, and we're looking at these guys getting max contracts in basketball. We're like, who are these guys?
Yeah, some of that happens. Yes, I mean you look at lower tier teams that can't get those good players. Bulls have been that team.
When the Bulls just got Lonzo, they picked up Lonzo's.
Yeah, so you look at those contracts and they sign a max, and you're like, dang, who are these people? But in basketball, you got to spend so much, you got to get to a certain threshold.
And it's not like they have a shallower pool of talent, because you've got to understand, you've got guys playing in China, Europe, Australia. There's so many leagues, so many. I think there's African basketball leagues now.
Well, there's a bunch, yes, for sure.
So you don't have a shallow. You got a bigger pool of talent than almost baseball, because you got to think baseball's played in a lot of other countries too. I know South American and Caribbean,
all that. Yes, Dominican, all that.
So, where are you going there?
All right, so ended up Mavericks Thunder halftime score 54-44. Thunder down by 10. This is Game 5. They're at home. It would be a nice game to win. I think the winner of this game really takes the advantage seat of the exactly. It looks like Luka's leading with 17 points. Shai Gilgeous got 10.
That's Shai Gilgeous.
Obviously, offensively,
his name is Shai Gilgeous.
But obviously, for the Thunder, 44 points in 2 quarters has been very below their average as far as offense.
That's what I'm saying. Their second period has been
So talking
weak.
about the Thunder a little bit. Well, they both scored low points. I thought the Thunder
30.
Obviously, everyone knows the Thunder's biggest problem is rebounding. They need an interior person. I mean, Chet is a guy that can come out and in, but he's not a grinder in the middle. They need to go for a center coming up.
You were afraid Zach Edey was going to end up.
Well, they can get him in the second round if they want, but don't. But anyway, Thunder did get the 12th pick, got the Rockets pick.
Bulls have
and then the Rockets actually got better. They got the 3rd pick, and that was from
who did the Bulls get?
That was from the Nets.
That's right.
San Antonio 4th. Pistons got screwed again. One of the worst records in the league, and they're picking 5th again. They have no ping pong luck.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is why I hate the ping pong crap.
No, but it makes it fun. San Antonio has the 8th pick and the fourth pick.
Where was Chicago at?
Fourth,
I thought they were up there.
4th and 8th pick, because they also had the 8th pick from
Chicago had a draft.
the Raptors in a trade. Memphis is 9. Utah is number 10. There's the Bulls getting Cody Williams. Cody Williams is actually the brother of Jalen Williams for the Thunder.
Is this this hasn't happened? This is all. What am I looking for? The word projected, right?
Yes, this is just projected.
Because they're not drafting
no,
until.
no, the draft numbers are correct.
No, I know the numbers
Yeah.
are. I know. I'm talking about because I kept seeing names and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, that's just projected, but the draft numbers are correct. And then I think the Thunder give up their.
That was the one that went to Utah, wasn't it?
Utah, that's correct. So
Because we were watching that last season because they had multiple picks in the first round.
Yeah.
For 3-4 years in a row.
Oh,
5 maybe.
It goes on for a while, and that's why I think it's time for the Thunder to really make a move with a lot of those picks and trade for a big guy, someone like Karl Anthony Towns. Not that he's coming to Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. They need a guy in the middle. We need Steven Adams when we used to had 5-6 years ago. Now, and we just ain't got it because the offensive rebounding is not there. The interior presence is not there. And the Thunder, one thing that I've noticed that they've seemed to have played timid in the second round as far as offensively shooting.
Say, I don't
and
know
their perimeter defense is trash.
I don't know if that coach is that way to have a big guy. I don't, who's our coach? Who's Oklahoma City?
Dagnall, he's really good. I mean, he is good.
So you see the first 2 games they
but
went
it doesn't
30,
but
39,
it doesn't but it doesn't need
20.
but it doesn't need to be a guy that you go to as the offensive guy.
No.
You just need a guy to be rebounding and have a defensive presence.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you look at the teams that have been
don't
winning,
know.
have big guys that are going to knock them around, and the offensive rebounding has killed Oklahoma City in this
Every time I
series.
say offensive rebounding, I just want to say the words offensive
Linebacker.
linebacker.
Oh yeah. But anyway, yeah, offensive rebounding is killed.
See, the last 2 games, they've had terrible second periods.
Yeah, on their thirds worse. So and tonight they need to come out. But they've been timid shooting the ball. I mean, they need to be shooting the 3-point more, I think, and quit worrying about trying to. I mean, they move fast. That's what they did well in the preseason. Jalen Williams, in my opinion, has had a really off
But you
playoff
even said
series.
before, whenever it was like, if we have to face if Oklahoma City has to face the Mavericks, that's been the thorn in Oklahoma City's side.
And Mavericks was one of the teams that
Like
had
the
started
Chicago
off.
White Sox have been to the Cleveland Guardians.
So the White Sox,
Woo! Yeah, see the White Sox again.
the Mavericks had come into the playoffs playing as one of the best teams, even though they were only a 4 seed. You know, they had some injuries early.
It wasn't indicative. Their record was not indicative of their play.
That is correct.
No, I knew that coming in. And I know that
I just really thought our speed in the not just the speed
we've seen,
but you
what
talk about
happens
the
to
intent,
teams
the
that
intensity
build on speed alone.
But the intensity, because you've got Kyrie Irving, you've got Luka Doncic, and they're older teams they're older guys that don't move as fast. But then you've got PJ Washington scoring 30 points, 25. Who is this guy? I mean, he's making money in the playoffs right now, and the Thunder just keep allowing him to shoot
Washington
these.
played.
Yeah.
Hold on, it's a very familiar name.
I'd never heard of him.
Unless I'm thinking of PJ Walker. Oh wow!
Oh, he's
Whoa,
coming.
he's
He's coming up because he's playing tonight. And he's been.
That just shot right up there.
Yeah, he's been running that team. He's 25 years old.
Oh, University of Kentucky. He was one of Calipari's guys.
Yeah, so tonight he's got 0 points, but then you look at the other games and how much he scored before. So.
Oh, did you see the lights?
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. We're in the middle of
Storms. They are coming.
Storm Central, and the lights just did a little bibbity.
All right, so there's your final 8 for basketball. Let's move on.
Went to Charlotte.
Let's move on to. What do you want to talk about now?
No, I was looking at PJ Washington. I knew this guy. His name was really familiar. So.
Well, you don't remember from the Hornets.
No.
But look,
I'm
saying
saying
he scored a 42. He then scored a career high 42 points
right
on the Kings, and then he scored a 43 against the Thunder. It's like he owns the Thunder.
He was with Kentucky. He was with that Kentucky team that
One
actually.
and done guy.
No, 2 years.
3, 17, 18, and 19.
Oh, I kind of counted as. So, yeah. You want to hear about his early life?
No, not really.
He was born in Louisville.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's move on.
I guess we can start touching each other on our NFL schedules.
Well, you want to close with that, or you want to close with my notes? I got a bunch of little notes.
All right, everybody, we're gonna listen to Kenny's notes. I'm gonna go to sleep for a minute.
No, I just have a few things, just some local things you might have missed.
Retire golf course is cleaned up and his limbs have been trimmed. So everybody that's looking for a nice skills course, go out there.
There you go. General Booty transferred this last week.
Okay.
No.
Going to Iowa.
No, he's not.
Oh, I thought
Louisiana Monroe. Okay.
No, they had projected him to probably go to Iowa.
So anyway, yes,
he was looking at Iowa.
Jeff Fisher, former Rams and
Chicago Bear.
No,
85 Bear.
Oh yeah, he was a Bear, but we coached at the Rams and the Titans and Oilers, Titans,
and the Michigan Panthers.
Yeah, he is currently the interim commissioner of the Arena Football League right now. Oh,
that's cool.
Yes,
he should not be coaching.
He's not any good, is he?
Well, you could see his arc, and he hit that arc and came down. And when you can't win at Michigan Panthers, you're done.
So okay,
he turned that team over. The funny thing about it was, I can't remember his first or second year of the league, and he just turned him over. He goes, "Nope, I'm done. I'm out. I can't do it. Before you fire me, here's this guy."
So then we have
Arena Tulsa. The Tulsa. What is the Tulsa Arena Football League? The Maulers? No, because that just started, didn't it?
Are they back?
Yes.
I thought they were the Oilers or something.
Oh, they might be.
They use the same name.
I can't spell arena. It says Ariana. Yeah, they're the Tulsa Oilers. So that has kicked off, I believe, or it is about to. Yeah, May 11th they started. They brought back the old Iowa Barnstorms. That is one of the original arena.
Yes, that was.
I wonder if they brought in the old Rattlers. That was a team I liked watching. The Arizona Rattlers.
So is this the Arena Football League right
now?
Yeah,
this is.
Okay. So when does Tulsa play next?
I just thought I hit schedule, but I don't know what their
3 and 4.
Okay, so March 22nd would be the next game. Frisco Fighters.
March 22nd. Okay, we're
in May. That's a loss.
We're in May, dude. Okay, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Sean. May 18th, San Antonio Gunslingers.
That's in San Antonio. I said, when's the next one in Tulsa?
There
we go.
San Diego Strike Force.
The Strike Force. Oh, boy. And then you got the Sioux Falls Storm.
I think Sioux Falls was...
And the Green Bay Blizzard.
What, the what? The Green Bay Blizzard?
And the Quad City. Now, Quad City was an original, and I don't think they were the Steam Wheelers. I think
they were. Remember, it was the Tulsa Talons played them. It was.
Hey, and speaking of news about that, former Tulsa Talons coach Skip Foster passed away last week.
Shoot.
Yep.
Well,
also, in news about
Quad
that.
City. Where is that at?
It's Peoria, Illinois. There's some Iowa towns, I think. It's like 4 towns put together.
Okay. I was thinking of the Bossier City.
No, they're up in Illinois, that area. I could be wrong.
Massachusetts Pirates. Those are coming. That's on the 19th of July. We looking to go to some of these games, huh?
We need to try to go, actually.
We went. You, me, and...
It's been a long... That was the Tulsa Talons phase.
Yeah, it was the Talons, but was it me? Because they played Bossier City, and that's when Goodenough from University of Tulsa was quarterback, and we got to see the Dallas Cowboy quarterback was playing for Bossier City. The black guy,
Anthony Quincy Carter.
Quincy Carter.
Yeah, Quincy Carter.
Yeah, and we finally understood why he had flamed out of the league, because it was bad. It was so bad.
Well, and that was that is such a fun and just so fast.
Yeah, because you always have, their rule is you have to have a guy moving at all times. Wide receiver, running back, something like that. You got to have a guy moving at all times. What are you looking at?
I'm just go ahead.
I'm just trying to figure out what you're looking at there.
No, I was looking up. I heard
it's sad that there's no Arizona Rattlers.
I heard some news about a local softball coach, and I'm trying to figure out.
Now we got into an argument about losing OU's basketball coach, but she didn't end up going for the Iowa position.
Didn't
Iowa
get
State.
offered.
I know, but we had talked about that.
I thought that would be it was concerning when Blutter retired. But with that
I guess
assistant
I
coach,
for 2 days.
assistant coach there, I mean, I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wasn't really worried about it, but yeah, Blutter retired from Iowa State, one of the best female coaches in the NCAA.
Agreed.
And there was a worry that Kenny had that since our current basketball coach was an Iowa State alum, that she would end up going there, and she ended up not, right?
No. They hired the assistant.
Yeah, so you're always worried about when these
I watched
when
that
these
stuff
schools
because
come
I like
open.
Jenny Branzak.
I know, but you're always worried about when these schools come open.
She is really building something special at that school, and it's and I hope that they'll be able to keep her. But anyway, no.
The Tulsa Oilers. We didn't even talk about the hockey team because they set
out.
attendance record.
Oh yeah, they did, but
They're
out. Also, closing RSU, our local college lost in regional championships to Augustana College 3-2 yesterday and 6-0 today. So that puts Augustana is how I'm going to, or Augustana. Either way, do you know the town that would be in? You would think Georgia. Augustana. So the first place I thought was Georgia. Don't Google it. I want you to guess. So it's not Georgia. So I give you a hint there.
Idaho.
No, it's and you won't get it. It's Sioux Falls.
It's outside of Iowa.
It's Sioux Falls, South Dakota, is the college. Augustana University. There it is, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. They beat.
There's a rock band.
They beat our local.
Which one am I looking for?
Right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to look it up myself. I was like, I don't even know where that's at. But anyway, I looked at them yesterday because I know the game was going, and because I drove by it and they were getting ready to load up or start the game, and then they lost today 6-0. So, but anyway, good season for them. Just
oh my
tough
God!
loss.
Do you know who's an alumni?
Who's that?
Mary Hart.
Oh, nice, Mary Hart.
From
E.T.
Yeah, ET.
There we go.
Because we didn't have entertainment as children. Well, our entertainment was whatever our parents watched.
And we didn't have cable, so that came on Channel 6.
That's true.
So, 6 in Tulsa area. So, all right.
Well, CBS.
CBS. There we go. All right, that's all I have for that. So let's close up with the schedule has been released. The NFL schedule.
I'm trying to bring that up. You want me to bring?
But no, I mean it is what it is. Now I do want to highlight one thing that the Cowboys and Browns open the season on Fox.
Who's easier? Who's got the easier schedule?
Cowboys at Browns, and Tom Brady will make his appearance. It'll be the first game that he calls as
NFL minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, 6-time Super Bowl champion. There was somebody did ask him about playing for the Raiders. He goes, I don't know if that's legal.
It isn't legal. It isn't legal.
It used to be. You used to be able to be a player owner.
Well, yeah, you could be the kicker, quarterback, and the owner. Yeah,
well, that's George Blanda.
Yes, exactly.
I miss you, George. Oh, he's punter, wasn't he? He was a kicker punter.
I don't know.
I miss you, George Blanda.
So did you get a chance to even peel over that at all?
What?
The schedule.
Yes.
Okay, so
I didn't. We didn't really look up. Well, there were 4 UK games. And the Bears finally have to do it after, 6 years of doing this. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I don't understand why, have become the team in London. I know that.
For sure.
And everybody, because you saw the draft was a British guy that came out and did one of the draft picks for the Jaguars.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the international series right now. September 6th, which is going to be... is that...
No, they didn't do the Mexico City, did they?
No.
And they'll be talking about because it's supposed to be Kansas City was doing a Mexico City.
So NFL September 6th, Packers and Eagles. That'll be at Sao Paulo. And then
do you even know where Sao Paulo is?
I do not.
It's Brazil.
And then we've got Jets and Vikings October 6th. That'll be at London. And then a week later, they'll do another game at London. So Jaguars and Bears.
The Jags are cheating because the Jags do that. They did that last year. They stayed They stayed and had another game.
Correct. And then
It's bad.
and then Patriots at Jaguars will be the week after that at Wembley Stadium.
Giants Panthers
And then Giants Panthers that's the Germany game, and that's just not a good matchup.
Oh,
What a boring shit game.
What if we just send our 2 worst teams to Germany?
So they're bringing the New York flavor, but they could have brought another big city flavor.
So they went to Sao Paulo. They wanted. I know they wanted Mexico City, because there is future talk of a team being in Mexico City.
No, I agree.
And
London's the same.
But hold on now. You remember
be the Jacksonville half and
NFL
half.
Europe was there.
Oh, I know that, but we're talking NFL. We're not talking NFL Europe. It's
I
night and day.
know. I'm well aware of that. You're looking at a developmental league versus the pro league.
That's correct.
Because did they not take a guy from Europe? A couple teams took a couple guys from Europe in the draft.
Yeah, and then we've got one of the developmental leagues. We got one that's coming in for offensive lineman.
Right. So
Daniel.
So those leagues are there for a purpose, and I want them to succeed, and everybody else should want them to succeed as well. You need that. You need that developmental league. You need that.
I don't know. I mean, you're going to get some, but I think developmental league really to us, and it'll always be the NFL, is going to be college football. And as much as
we've seen how much that has not translated.
No, and they want to, and they'll play games against. They're going to have a game during the playoffs.
I want the Pro Bowl. I really want the Pro Bowl to be the old NFL championship game, where the winning team played the college All-Stars. So why can't the Pro Bowl end up being NFL All-Stars versus college All-Stars?
An interesting stat to there. The Chiefs will play on 6 of the 7 days this week.
6 of what 7 days?
Of the week.
Okay.
They'll play on the only game they don't play on is a Tuesday. They'll play a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Where's
Sunday.
Where's a Wednesday? Oh,
Christmas.
Christmas.
Christmas, yes.
Christmas. Oh. Well.
So we went over the international. You've got the Thanksgiving Day will be Bears at Lions. That'll be the early game, followed by Giants at Cowboys.
Williams going to get smashed.
Giants at Cowboys, and the Dolphins will go to Green Bay for the night game. I don't like the night game matchup because That's a day. Those are 2 day teams. I think that Miami's going to struggle
Dallas
this year.
should have always been.
I think Miami's going to struggle, and Dallas could be the night game.
Well, that's Mike McDaniel's speed offense. That's speed.
No, I just think they lost a lot of defensive players. Free agency didn't do them well.
They didn't do themselves any favors getting rid of Fiago, letting him have any time to develop.
Well, I think that was a
guys.
family deal. That was a family
I
deal.
get it,
I don't
but
think they got
still,
rid of him.
.
So NFL also on Christmas Day they're getting done.
Christmas.
That'll be a Wednesday. Chiefs at Steelers, which will be great. And then you'll have Texans will be hosting the Ravens, which is also going to be a great matchup. Will the Texans still continue that run they had last year and continue that? And the Ravens, obviously, they were the favorite last year, and not right now.
Well, they were not my favorite, so.
No, but they were a lot. Boop. So, yeah. So.
Yeah, you suck. They were not my favorite.
All right. Other news. What do we got?
I'm done with other news. I'm done. I'm ready to go. Lightning, food, dinner.
I think that was all finished. Wanted to talk about Goff signing a 4-year, $212 million contract.
58 million, 53 million.
Makes him the second per year highest paid quarterback in the league.
58 or 50?
It was 2 year. It was 170 guaranteed.
Yeah, but what was it?
53 million a year.
53.
Yeah. Joe Burrow's highest at 55, injury prone. Jared Goff 53, Justin Herbert 52.5, Lamar 52, and Hurts 51.
Oh my God,
and it's like you don't even have some of the better quarterbacks even in the.
Yeah, where's Brock Purdy? Oh, rookie contract.
Oh yeah, they'll sign him to about.
Rookie contract.
What is that max going to be for him?
Way better than his rookie contract. By the way, if you get a 7th round rookie draft contract, it's horrible.
No, I mean, really, what's the expectation of that re-signing? I mean, what are you thinking that?
What do you mean? He's going to re-sign.
I'm not saying he won't, but what are they going to give him?
Oh, they'll give him lower high money.
Lower high money.
Well, like top 5 money, but lower. He'll be like low top 5 money.
Like a Dak Prescott, 40-something, mid 40s.
Yeah. Not
Kirk Cousins. ish money.
Yeah, with Kirk Cousins going to the Vikings money.
Yeah, well, he dropped per year, but overall guaranteed.
Yeah,
not
because
so
he's
bad.
Jay Cutler 2.0.
Well, no, he's Dak Prescott 2.0, or maybe it's the opposite. That
No, Kirk
Dak
Cousins.
is Kirk Cousins 2.0.
No, Dak is Tony Romo 2.0.
Oh no. You look at Dak and Kirk Cousins.
Cousins?
Cousins
Cousins?
stats. They're
Honey
pretty
Cookie?
They're pretty close. It's quite amazing actually how
No,
close they are.
Kirk Cousins is Jay Cutler 2.0, and I'll
No.
say that for the rest of my life.
No,
It is.
What did Jay ever take them to Super Bowl?
No.
Did he ever win a playoff game?
Yes, he did.
1.
1 and 2.
Okay. And so what's Kirk?
1 and 4.
4.
So he's failed 4 times more.
Yeah, but this means he made
Two
it.
times
But
more.
it means he made it more, so he's a better quarterback. You got to give him a little credit for getting there, don't you?
No, because he didn't have to go through as many coaches as Jay Cutler did. Remember, Jay Cutler was the coach killer. You had Mark Trestman, you had John Fox, you killed Lovie Smith's career.
Well, can you admit though that probably the Bears are probably the weirdest coach hiring teams ever, though?
Oh no, I said that the other day that the entire
Tampa's close to that.
entirety of Chicago sports has the worst front office managers and front office workers. I'm talking about from the Bears to
Not the workers,
Cubs.
not the workers, the management. Yeah.
The management, yeah. For the Bears to the Cubs to the White Sox to the Bulls to the Blackhawks. Worst front offices. They have some of the worst front offices. You look at contracts that get put out there, and some, what Chicago White Sox have the number 5, I think. They're in the top 10, if I remember right, for payment, for
Shit, I've never studied that. Nothing about the Bulls excites me at all. I mean, ever
everything.
since Jordan's left, they've been trash.
everything.
All right, that's it. I'll leave one thing. Game day.
God, he's still gonna talk.
No, Game Day has announced the first 2 locations. Did you
Ooh,
see
where?
those?
Ooh, where?
Dublin, Ireland is number 1.
Oh, for the Notre Dame.
No,
Who-
it's
who's Notre Dame? Yeah,
Florida
that's a-
State, Georgia Tech. Believe it or
What?
not. Yes.
Not Florida. No, what?
But you were close because the number 2 visit is a Notre Dame game, but it's not there. It's at College Station. So Mike Elko, new coach, first game of the year, gets College Game Day against
fair.
Notre Dame.
He does deserve that.
So,
He,
anyway,
how many did he get at Duke? Like,
That'll be interesting.
1, maybe?
That'll be interesting to see that. Look and honestly, look at your over/unders. It's pretty interesting about what's being released as far as the season stats. OU on a lot of sites were 3rd to 4th highest or hardest schedule in the nation, and obviously all the SEC teams are in the top. I think Vanderbilt was number 1. Arkansas was right there.
hardest or easiest?
Hardest.
Oh, well, no, when you play them, it's easiest.
Yeah. Yes. So, all right. Thank you all for joining us.
All right.
We'll let you go. Halftime still for the Thunder, I think. Have we started back up yet? I'll pull that up. Let's see if we can give you an update before we go there. Sorry. I closed the tab because you
I
were
did
rushing
too.
me.
I wasn't rushing you. Your stats were rushing you.
65-51. It's turned ugly already still. So now
It
it's
was
a
ugly before.
14-point lead by the Mavericks. Looks like it's going to be a butt kicking here. All right, so we'll see if for Game 6. Actually, series might be over by the time we come back. It will be. So
It'll
we'll
definitely be
talk
over.
about that. We'll recap this series and we'll talk about the upcoming series. All right, thank you all for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. It's